I absolutely adored A Gingerbread Romance. I am a big Hallmark Christmas film fan, and I've seen over 100 now, and I have to say, A Gingerbread Romance may be in my top 10. And there's a very good reason for that, and that's because no character overreacts at any point, and I will discuss that without giving any spoilers. This was released in 2018, directed by Richard Gabai. I apologise if I mispronounced that, and stars Tia Mowry and Duane Henry as our protagonists, Taylor and Adam. And I have to say that this is an absolute delight. Taylor, our protagonist, starts off as a bit of an antagonist. She's an architect. Her firm has decided to enter her as part of the company in his competition to design and make a life-size house out of gingerbread, which is a fantastic concept. Any Hallmark Christmas film that deals in confectionery gets my vote because it's just always so sweet and sugary and festive. Now, she doesn't bake. She doesn't know her way around the kitchen. She's kind of standoffish to begin with, but she manages to enlist the help of Adam, who is a very talented pastry chef, very talented baker, and he doesn't own his own business, but he does work for somebody else. That's how she meets him, and she manages to persuade him and his young daughter, it's a Hallmark Christmas film, of course, there's a young child with a single parent, to help her with this. And the entire film is basically about Adam and his daughter Brooke working with Taylor to design and build this gingerbread house. And I love it, and I love seeing it come together, and I love every time they make a new addition to it or a development. I just get so excited. It's easy to get sucked into this one. And there are problems, of course there are. There are obstacles that the characters have to overcome, both with one another and also with the creation of the gingerbread house. But when I said that nobody really overreacts, what I mean by this is if you're familiar with Hallmark films, and to be honest, I was expecting this to happen so much that I was kind of on tenterhooks once we entered the final third of the film, expecting it to happen. So maybe this might come across as a slight spoiler, just a slight warning that I'm about to tell you. Not what happens, but what didn't happen. And if you're familiar with Hallmark films, there comes a point towards the end, maybe the final third, where one of the characters reveals something or lets something slip. And the other protagonist, let's be honest, they're usually male and female protagonists, and they want their relationship. And one of them will reveal something, and the other character completely freaks out. I can't believe you didn't tell me this. Why were you doing that behind my back? You shouldn't have done this without me knowing. And they just completely lose the plot and storm off, and they do not give the other character a chance to actually explain what we as viewers know is actually quite a simple situation, or they had a very good reason for doing it. That does not happen here. There are obstacles throughout, it's not plain sailing, but both of the characters have very realistic reactions to situations, and that is something that I truly admire because we do not get enough of that from Hallmark. From start to finish, I absolutely loved A Gingerbread Romance. I was very excited to see the house. I will say one thing that I wasn't pleased with, not really a spoiler, but again, if you don't want to know what happens in the final third, we get to see the house before the big reveal. I was hoping that we wouldn't get to see the gingerbread house until they did the revealing of the competitors, because obviously there's a point where they go, our entries are this house, and this house. But we'd already seen the house by that point because we get to see it in construction, but right up until it's finished as well. So I think they could have kept that back a little bit just to help with suspense. But ultimately, A Gingerbread Romance is very sweet, and I absolutely adore it.